Technology. Akil, Marlena, how are y'all doing? Oh, those mute buttons.
We're doing well. I think I'm doing great. I don't know. What does it look like on your side? Can you hear me or?
You look and sound amazing, Marlena. Where are you representing right now? I see you got the South Carolina in the headline.
I do. I am from the Diamond of the Southeast, South Carolina, but I'm in Columbia. We call it Cola, Soda City. Yeah, that's where I am.
All right. And we got Akil with us too. How you doing, Akil?
I'm fantastic. It's good to see you. Good to see you, Marlena.
First Vice.
Actually based out of Atlanta, but I'm currently in San Francisco, so it's a little early here.
Oh wow. Okay, tell us what can we spill the beans on what you're doing over there, Akil?
Oh, sure. This is a fun one. I mean, I'm this is on a personal side. I'm moving my oldest daughter into her first apartment. She is a senior at University of San Francisco, so we're in the process of getting her moved in here for her senior year and her extra year. So excited about that.
Man, how does that feel? What's it feel like? Time flies, huh?
Oh man, too fast. That's why when last time we met, I was telling you really enjoy these years, because once they're gone, they're going to be once they get grown, they really are grown. But it's I'm excited about her journey. I'm excited about the future, and we've done a good job so far. So she's ready to go.
Love it. And check it out. We already have 44 people joining us, and we're still 10 minutes away. As I was sharing with you, Marlena and Akil, we've had over, I believe the final number was 256 people register for this webinar, which is wild, considering this is kind of a first of its kind. Obviously, you do webinars, you do trainings for members, but to be able to live stream this across so many platforms, reach out to non-members and get the engagement going, man, this is pretty cool. And check out, we already got some comments. Let's give some love to some people. What's up, Elmer? Thank you. Good morning to you. I was about to say good morning. Where are you at? For those saying good morning, tell me where you're at right now, because I'm over here in Florida and it is lunchtime. So if it's morning time for you, let us know where you're at. We'll go through some names. How you doing, Sherry? Let me know if any of these names, Marlena or Akil, stand out to you. What's up, Jeff? Jody?
We see our very own Julia on.
Where's Julia at?
She got the woohoo.
Right here?
That's it.
Hey, I'm here and I'm ready. I feel like Julia doesn't get ready. She stays ready. That's what I heard.
That's the truth.
I've been trying to email Julia at random times just to see when she doesn't respond, and I have not succeeded yet.
You can't catch her slipping, man. She's on point always.
I think I even put in the last email, I am only writing this because I have time to write it. I do not need a response. And she responded right away. Don't worry, I'm here too. I was like, okay, Julia, thank you. What's up? Kenny's in the building. What's up, Kenny? Kenny, you want to log in on the guest link so you can join us at the first part of this as well? I just sent a follow-up email, Kenny, to you, Akil, and Marlena, to log into that guest link so you can join us and do the intro. So Kenny, go ahead and join us there. Let's see. If you're joining us now, put it in the comments. Tell us where you're from, where you're at. We got Greenwood, Mississippi. We got Georgia. I love we got tons of comments here. Marlena and Akil, are both of you planning to go to the SETA conference in Mississippi?
Oh, of course, definitely.
Talk to me a little bit about while we're waiting. And for those just now logging in, we're going to start right at 12, but we logged in early to run through our technology, make sure everything is good, which amazing it is so far, which, that's always fingers crossed. We keep that going. Can one of y'all talk to me in the meantime about what to expect from that Mississippi conference based on your experiences? I'm not sure if they've had them down in that area before.
Well, you know what? I want to defer to Kenny when he gets on here because this is his state and he's been doing an amazing job leading the conference planning and those things. But we're going to have another SETA conference, man. It's going to be fantastic. Our last couple have raised the bar each time. We had the Savannah one, and then we had the Myrtle Beach, which Marlena was the lead on, and it was great turnout even through the storm. So we're really, really looking forward to having a very robust conversations, intentional and interesting workshops, and just really an opportunity for the Southeastern workforce community to bond together, to share best practices, to connect and collaborate, and it's gonna be a great time, and it's in Biloxi, Mississippi, so it should be a good time all the way around.
I love it. Marlena, what can people expect from attending a SETA conference? Maybe if they've never attended one before, what's the vibes like? What can they expect to happen?
The vibe is electric, and it's electric with a lot of people who are passionate about workforce and making big changes in people's lives. And it's a great way to share ideas, gain best practices, and also expand your network. So what can you expect at a SETA conference? Everything: learning, engagement, networking, and we do like to top it off with a little fun. So it will be a fun-filled learning experience. It will definitely captivate you. I'm still hearing comments from Savannah, from Myrtle Beach, and some people are trying to get in, and they're like, make sure I can get in. So it will be memorable. That I can assure you.
Yeah, and when you say fun, you're not just like saying, people will laugh. I feel like SETA always has some sort of, it's like a dance party or some sort of theme. I remember the one in Georgia, they like literally had a block party. Talk to me about like kind of some of the fun stuff you've seen before, where people like really get to unwind and get down while remembering that we're live, Marlena. Remembering that. Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to lead off with that. It was an intense networking event that the environment supported collaboration. The environment supported professionalism. And we also had the aid of, we had some acoustic aids and some kinetic engagement as well. But it was all professional.
Yeah, I love to add to that, Marlena. You nailed it. You nailed it in a real way.
I feel like Marlena had some stuff to say, but she's like, you know what, Curtis just kind of
she nailed it the right way. But I just want to add to it that we definitely got to we had the opportunity to really highlight the local universities. We got a chance to highlight the local political structure. The mayor came out, some other folks came out and really highlighted Savannah and what Savannah has to offer to the workforce community and also the business community. And so it was really high on that end. And the acoustics came from Savannah State University, and they did an amazing job, kind of just letting us know what the sound is like in the Southeast and what's going on down there in Savannah, Georgia. So it was super cool. But to Marlena's point, we had I think at that point we had probably the highest attendance since COVID. And then in Myrtle Beach, we beat that attendance. And so I think that, people are really, really, what we're doing with the organization is resonating. I also think that we're in a time of flux that requires us as a workforce community to kind of bond together and figure out solutions and do some things. And so this is the time and this is the place to do it. And SETA, being the premier workforce development organization in the Southeast is definitely is where innovation meets purpose, and people are out there doing that in real time.
I love that. The premier. And we already have, speaking of premier, we have over 115 people with us right now, which is truly incredible. We've had over 250 registered. We're currently streaming across 6 different platforms, reaching a whole group of people. So this is really cool. This is neat. And speaking of really cool, I feel like we need to bring one of the coolest people on stage real quick. What's up, Kenny?
How you doing?
What's going on?
Hey,
I'm feeding an 11-month-old baby. So hey, it's not mine. Don't get me wrong. My daughter had to go to the doctor, so I'm pulling duty. How y'all doing?
We're good.
Oh,
we were
fantastic.
talking about Mississippi, Kenny. We were talking about this conference you got coming up. Talk to us a little bit for somebody that might not know what to expect at this conference in Mississippi.
The Mississippi Gulf Coast is the 3rd largest gambling mecca in the United States now. At the Beau Rivage in beautiful Biloxi, Mississippi. We've got a great lineup. We've worked with DOL, and I know there's a lot of reentry stuff. There's a lot of youth stuff. There's a lot of fiscal stuff. And I've been a member of SETA since 2005. So I've seen it evolve into something that's really, it's really on the edge, and it's really diverse, and you're getting a lot of different ideas and input from a lot of different areas. I know we're just 8 member states, but at every SETA conference, there's representatives from 20 to 25 states from around the country, because we are a one-of-a-kind organization. There's nothing like it in the United States. I've been there 52 years, and it mixes up not only administrative people, but a lot of frontline people come, because we get down to where the rubber meets the road. And I would say 80 to 85% of our breakout sessions are working directly with frontline people and their issues and that kind of stuff. So it's really good.
I love that. And you know what? We got 12:01 on the clock. We have over 146 people currently watching. We have, looks like about 50 more watching across the other 6 platforms. So I think it's time to get going. Y'all ready to get this thing started?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
Let's do it. So before we jump into a little bit of our workshop and our webinar, what we wanted to do is use this as an opportunity to introduce you to some of our amazing SETA board members, our SETA state reps, and let them give a second to tell you, why are they even a part of SETA? Why are they doing this? Why are they taking their lunch to talk to you a little bit about the work that SETA does? Everything we do beyond the status quo, we're doing it because we have a why connected to it, or we just wouldn't do it, right? We find time in our busy days for the things that bring us joy and that we get excited about. So what I wanted to do is also take this as an opportunity to let you hear what gets Akil excited, Marlena excited, and Kenny excited about being a part of SETA. And since I'm looking at my screen here, Akil, and you're at the top, I got you 1, I got Marlena 2nd, and I'm going to end with Kenny 3rd. I do appreciate, though, that Kenny came right out of the box talking about gambling. Like, hey, y'all should go and have a good time. Now, this is what this is about. So we're gonna leave Kenny last on this. But let's start with Akil. And before we start with Akil, I want to encourage you watching, get in the comments. Tell us about your favorite conference experience. Tell us if you are a SETA member. If you are, how long you have been. Communicate with us. If you see me looking to my right and to my left, it's because I got another screen and I can see you with these comments. And I'll put you on the screen. We can make you famous. There's a bunch of people watching. Look, Tanisha, now you're famous. Look at that. Three Rivers is now on the map because I put you on the screen. So go ahead and get in the comments and you'll get on the screen. So Akil, let's talk about it. The very first question, why, oh why, are you a part of SETA? Akil, talk to us about your why with SETA.
I'll tell you. So I first experienced SETA as a consultant for the Job Corps program. I was working on a project in the national office, and they were like, why don't you go down and set up a table and represent Job Corps down at the SETA conference. And this was in Myrtle Beach right before, probably in 2019, 2020. And the experience was incredibly electric. There were huge, it was over 500 people, I think, there. There was There was just a sense of partnership. Everything was connected, and so I really saw kind of what it was, and it built some interest in me to come back. And so the next time I came back, it was even more. And so every time that I've been engaged with SETA and the members of SETA and the board of SETA, it has been an edifying experience every time. And so I decided, in some conversations, I got a phone call and said, hey, the president at the time, Joseph C. Morse, said, hey, we like you around. We see some ways that you are an asset and able to contribute. And so therefore, would you be interested in being an appointed member? And so of course, yes, I love it. Kind of jumped in with both feet, created an initiative I'll talk about, and then just kind of moved from there. But SETA is a power network. I mean, I really feel that and really believe that it's a kind of a mix of the people who have fundamentally and institutionally been working in the workforce development environment, and then they bring those things to everybody who's there. So I'm super excited with that. So we have, it's a power network. You mentioned the 8 states, Kenny. And it just, it does amazing work. It's also professional development with real impact. The people there in SETA, the people that are involved, the people that are part of the conferences and all year round are about making impact in their communities. And so that's a huge piece. Innovation, I see innovation every single time that we're together as well. If you come to a SETA conference, you'll see technology that has never been associated with workforce development. You'll see ideas and other things that are there. And then and then the membership is so talented. And I just want to, I'll just throw this shameless plug at you and I'll get off the stage. But we are also very much about the messaging around you joining SETA because you are responsible for your own professional development, right? We have a lot of organizations that pay for their membership, but we have a lot of members that pay for themselves and find real value in being part of this organization. So we want to encourage people to take advantage and to be the owners of their own professional development. And SETA is a great place to go. And so we're also doing our thing with young professionals, and we are thinking about the succession plan of SETA, and SETA being around for another 50 plus years. And so the only way to do that is get the young professionals involved, and we have some really great things in line for them. So looking forward to it. And thank you for the platform. Appreciate the time.
I appreciate you, Akil. And is it true that down the road you might be presidential material? Is that a rumor that I heard? Is that?
I heard that I was on the lineup, so we'll see what happens over the next year or so. But I'm happy to serve in any capacity, and so I'm excited about what we're doing so far, and looking forward to the future. Sharon is going to be amazing president this year. We have a lot of things lined up and a lot of things planned for the organization. And Kenny already told you, he's been around here for 20 years, and he is a fixture and has been a great mentor and a great lead for us as we develop the next phase in SETA.
For real. And shout out to Sharon too, because she called me and I felt bad. Like I asked for like 9 different things and said, hey, I need 3 different things, but she was cool with it. She's like, hey, let's get to work. Let's make it happen.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Really encouraging to hear. And then Akil, you're going to be after this jumping in the comments with us. So I want to encourage anyone that has a question for Akil. He's going to be in there communicating, talking with you, giving you whatever information you need. Definitely lean on him. So Akil, I appreciate you joining us and telling us a little bit about your why, sir.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
You're going to be gambling with Kenny in Mississippi, huh? So
if I get to gamble with his money, then I'll gamble all night.
Okay. Fair enough. I appreciate you, Akil. Go ahead and jump in the comments section.
I will. Thank you all.
Chat soon.
All right, cool.
All right, Miss Marlena.
Yes.
Hey, what's up? Talk to us about what you do with SETA, why you joined SETA, and then if you can, I'm already getting some comments of people that are saying they're happy to be here, but they're not yet a member of SETA. So what would maybe be the pitch for them, or what would be, you think, one of the most compelling reasons to be a part of an organization like this, Marlena?
Well, my why, I'm going to kind of go back just a little bit. Before joining the South Carolina Department of Employment and Workforce, most of my workforce development experience had been in higher education. So I taught and I served as a department chair at one of our state's technical colleges. We have a wonderful technical college system. So in that role, I collaborated with industry partners. You know, we developed curricula based on whatever their workforce needs were. But when I stepped into a statewide role, my perspective changed. And of course, it had to. And I realized I needed more than just experience to be successful. So I needed a deeper understanding of the workforce ecosystem and a network to grow with. So that's when I found SETA. So through SETA, I've tapped into a really awesome cross-state, so we're talking about 8 states here, community of workforce professionals that are passionate about what they do and the people they serve. My collaboration with the members has been genuine and absolutely generous. Webinars, conferences, and the digital resources are serious game changers. So it gives me insight and best practices that I need to really step into this role and lead confidently. So the investment is truly minimal. It's truly minimal, but the return on investment has been enormous. I've gained knowledge, connections, and a sense of purpose that really energizes my work. So if anyone is trying to get in on a place to grow, learn, and lead in workforce development, you got to join us. You got to join SETA. Not just for your growth. As Akil mentioned, your professional development is an investment that you have to make into yourself. So that investment you make into yourself not only is an investment in you, but it's also an investment in the communities and the people that we serve as a team of professionals. So that's my why.
I love it.
Had to do a little throwback, but join us. It's you'll learn much more than you ever imagined. The workforce ecosystem is always changing, and you need a group of really in-tuned professionals that can help you, navigate through this space. I know, there have been some changes and how to frame that in a way that fuels your work and doesn't frustrate you. It takes people who are seasoned in this space to do that. So SETA is definitely the place for that.
Absolutely. I love that, Marlena. And then talk to me about, give a little shout out to South Carolina. You're the South Carolina state rep. Kind of rep South Carolina for a second before we let you go.
I most certainly will. Hello to all of the people here that are from the diamond of the Southeast, that which is South Carolina. So, hey, y'all.
What's up? Appreciate it. Awesome, Ms. Marlena. Marlena is also going to be joining us in the guest link. So she'll be communicating with you in the chat. If you have any questions about South Carolina, about Marlena, if you want to have an off the record conversation with her about some of those parties at the SETA's conference that Marlena didn't bring up on live.
Experiences.
Networking
experiences.
Yes, that's true. You do learn a lot about people during the two-step. So, I appreciate that. Thank you, Marlena. All right, Kenny, let's round us out as our representatives. I see that you have another board member you brought with you, a surprise guest. What's up?
That's Tilly.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Has Kelly officially registered for the conference coming up, or is she a member of SETA? This is important. We need to lock this in right now.
She's the keynote.
Kelly can do whatever she wants to.
Yes.
So, but I came to SETA. Well, first of all, I came from the private sector. I worked for Kraft Foods and Sara Lee Corporation for over 25 years. And then I got on Katrina. I did the National Emergency Grant for the state of Mississippi for 6 years. And that just evolved into what I'm doing now. That's how I got into SETA. What I'm going to say about SETA is $40 is all it is to get in. It's 2 trips through McDonald's. So, we're the fattest and the most unhealthy state in the nation. So it ain't gonna hurt us to miss a couple of trips to McDonald's, but it's real cheap. For what you get out of it, you can't beat it. Another thing I'd like to say is we moved to a different state twice a year. I mean, there's 8 states, so there's 2 conferences a year. I think from here we go to Florida, then we go to Kentucky, then we go to Tennessee. So I don't want anybody to think that like coming to a theater near you, SETA is coming to a hotel near you. So, you know, it's a great experience. We've changed the program so much. We have tracks. If you're a physical person, we try to make sure there's a track for you. If you're a youth person, we've created a track just for youth. If you're a dislocated worker, adult person, there's a track for you. If you're a board member, we have a track for board members to go through to get more detailed about the responsibilities of a board member. So it's really, really good. We try to bring in speakers from all over the United States to give us insight to what's going on. We're tied in very well with the Department of Labor. We actually speak to them quite often to see what, like this coming up conference, they suggested that we concentrate on reentry and physical with all the financial stuff going on. So that's kind of what we do. We feed off our membership. We ask our membership, what do you want and what do you need to hear about? And that's how we form our programs. So SETA is a great organization. You meet a lot of people and you hear how they're handling the same situations that you're having to handle, or the same barriers that you have. Somebody in Kentucky might have a solution for you. And when you're at SETA, you can meet them and talk to them. And in the breakout sessions, you learn a lot of stuff that you might not have thought about. Okay.
I love that, Kenny. And Kenny, we're almost at 200 people watching right now. We've already mentioned Mississippi a couple times, and I know I asked you this earlier before we got started, but I want to ask you one more time. With this Mississippi conference coming up next, what can people expect who are attending? Give us a little shout out about this Mississippi conference. Give us the pitch on what to expect.
This is looking over. If you want to look at the agenda, you can go to SETA.org, and it gives you the registration and the breakout sessions so you can see specifically what we're doing. We've got a big, nice pre-con meeting on reentry, which is a huge thing going on right now. We have a under 40 youth gathering on Monday night at Ground Zero in Biloxi, Mississippi, a blues club. And it's just I was talking to my boss the other day, and she said it's one of the best lineups we've ever had for SETA as far as being relevant and giving good information. So it's really going to be a good one.
Love that. Under 40. I feel, hold on now. I am 40. Would I be able to?
You can still come, Chris. Curtis, you can still come. You can still come.
Yeah, I'll be at the door, man. Just slip me $20 and you get in.
There you go. There you go.
I was about to say, Kenny, how you getting in? If it wasn't going, it's under 40.
It's my party.
It's your party.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, it's my party.
And the cool thing,
go to this one.
Kenny, you let me piggyback on what you're saying real quick. The party that Kenny is putting together is going to be really cool because it's at this at a beautiful location, beautiful venue, and the Blues Club. But we're going to have a whole tech aspect to it, as an activity or as a part of it. So it's going to be kind of meeting two worlds that Kenny has put together. So it's going to be something special for the young professionals, and very excited about that. And I think there's a couple other things that Kenny was saying as far as the focus and who we're in touch with. We're in touch with the veterans. We have services for veterans. We have services for a bunch of other all of the community. When you think about it. And the one thing that I think is amazing, and Kenny has actually really kind of enlightened me on this since I've been around, is that SETA, one special thing about SETA is that because it's the Southeastern Employment and Training Association, it actually focuses on the needs of the Southeast. So the 8 states are the focus, which is, a little bit different when you have organizations that cover more ground, they have to cover the entire thing. We're covering what's happening here in the Southeast. And so I think that that's a huge value for its membership. And I just wanted to mention that. Thanks, Curtis.
I love that. I love that. All right, Akil and Kenny, before we get to the training webinar portion of this live stream, any final thoughts, final comments for those watching in attendance, SETA members or non-SETA members? Any final words?
Registration's open right now. I think it's September 28th. Is that the right date, Akil? Sunday?
Yep, it's in the and Julia look in the chat, everybody. Julia has put the conference dates and times for the next 3 conferences that Kenny mentioned. So if you look at 9/16, Julia put that in, or 12/16, I guess your time. I'm still on West Coast time. So yes, I think that's fantastic. And my only last word, Curtis, is the same. Invest in your own professional development, and your own connection, and your own, kind of move towards whatever you're trying to accomplish in your career. SETA is a great place, and great place for foundational relationships, foundational opportunities. And, we've seen a lot of people, entrepreneurs, small business owners, kind of the whole gamut, from agencies that are huge to agencies that are small. All of you guys are important. We want you all to be there to share and to connect with us. So thank you.
Love that.
Thanks for all your time, Curtis. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Akil. And if you are able, like I said, go ahead and hang out in the chat box with us and answer any questions that we might have. All right, let's get down to business here. I know a lot of y'all are here for this webinar, Motivating Job Seekers with Your Cape. So for a little context on how we got here, is when I was looking at SETA and saw that there was a call to action for a Florida state rep, I'm going to be honest with you. My first reaction was like, hey, I want to run a campaign. I want to run a political campaign. This actually sounds interesting. I had a whole campaign slogan. I was going to go from door to door. I don't even know how that would have worked, like which doors I would have went at, but I was excited about running the campaign. And then I got an email that said, congratulations, Curtis, you won because nobody ran against you. I was like, oh, okay. So, I say all that to say is, even though I wanted to get out there and make my voice heard for why I want to be part of SETA and be a Florida state rep and do that as part of the campaigning process, it doesn't matter now, because here we are and now we get to work. So one of the first things I asked Julia, the amazing Julia, and then some of the other members that you heard is, okay, what can I do right away to get involved and help support what SETA is doing? And just to piggyback on some of the other comments that Marlena and Kenny and Akil made, I am naturally, believe it or not, I am naturally an introvert. I have never been a big fan of going to conferences, mingling with people, doing all that extra stuff. I'm an only child. I'm an introvert. That wasn't my thing. But one of the first conferences I ever attended where I truly tried to network was at a SETA conference. And the vibes there, they just made me feel at home. No one judged you, whether it was someone who was a CEO, whether it was someone who was a frontline worker. Everybody at this conference just wanted to go to learn from each other, improve their skills so that they can take that back to their locations and help others. Like, there was no looking down on people. So I went from, doing a little networking to doing a workshop at SETA, to doing a couple workshops at SETA, and then eventually being the keynote speaker. And then every step of the way, there were people in that room that had my back. And I promise you, if you become a member of SETA, people will have your back as well. So to circle back why I'm here as a state rep, and I asked, well, what can I do to have each other's back? What can I do to add value? I don't want to just be a state rep and just put my picture online and be like, hey, look at me. I want to do something. So they said, well, one of the first things you could do is host a free webinar for members. I was like, hey, we can do this in our sleep. I can do that in my sleep. And then I said, you know what? Why not open it to non-members as well? Why not open it to people that were kind of like me before that really never thought of attending an organization like this or attending a conference, and give them an opportunity as well. So that is why we are here today. I'm representing as the Florida State rep. And what I want to do for you is bring you a workshop called Motivating Job Seekers with Your Cape. So we're about to get this thing started. We got almost 200 viewers right now. Get in the comments, ask your questions. I'll answer those in real time. And by the way, yes, if you registered for this conference for this webinar through StreamYard, I have all of those names on a screen here to my right. And what we're going to do at the very end is we're going to spin a wheel, and whoever name that wheel lands on, you're going to get a prize. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hand out 5 autographed books. I got my books over here. I'm going to autograph it to you, give you a personalized book, and then autograph it and mail it to you. Look, I could just mail it straight to you from Amazon, but I want to give it personalized. Even though going to UPS and standing in that UPS line, I always get stuck behind the one person who is mailing 9 different things to 9 different places, but can't find the address. But I'm going to do that for you. So I'm going to hand out 5 autographed books. I'm going to mail those to you directly. And then the final prize we're going to give is a comped registration for either our next conference at Mississippi or the conference in Florida. And Julia, if you could put in the comment section for me how much that comped registration is worth, the value, just so I can, shout that out and brag about it. So at the very end, we are going to hand out some autographed books, 5 of those, and the comped registration for a conference coming up. In order to be a part of that, you would have had already registered through StreamYard. I have 250 names. And in order to get that prize, you have to be here to claim it. So once I wheel it, if you're with me, when we get your name, let me know in the comments. That's me. You won. If no one claims it in the comments, I'm going to spin it again and give it to somebody else. So with all that being said, let's get this thing rolling. Julia or Akil, somebody put it. Oh, there it is. Julia says $695 for conference registration, non-members $795. So that's already looks like one of the benefits of becoming a member is you get $100 off conference registration. And then no rush, Julia, but if you could put in the comments what people get at the conference, like what that includes, that'll be awesome. And I also got a comment from Cleopatra. Do you all offer a webinar for those that can't attend in person? If yet, what is the price? So the plan, Cleopatra, and that's a great question, is to start offering webinars like this more consistently, monthly or bi-monthly for SETA members. So those that maybe can't travel or can't attend the full conference, but still want to get some value and some understanding, some knowledge from our members, we're going to start offering webinars just like this more consistently. And that membership is only $40 to be a part of that. What you can do, Cleopatra and anybody else, put in the comment section of what is a topic of a webinar that you would like to see one of our SETA team members have as part of our live streams, and then we'll make that happen as well. So let's get this thing started here. Let me share with you kind of how my little background started. Put in the comments for me, has anyone here ever had to do home visits before? Did you ever work in a job where you had to drive to a participant's house or drive to a client's house or drive to a customer's house? One of my very first jobs, I was that guy. And because I was very optimistic, and I think I still am, and because I was very high energy, I still am, especially if, we get one of these coffees in me, they would give me the challenging cases. They would give me the difficult cases. So one young person, he was 18. One of the goals was to get a job and get into trade school. So I did an unannounced visit at his home. I knocked on the door. He barely opens the door and he says, "What do you want?" I was like, okay, well, fair enough. Maybe the energy that he is bringing to me, he thinks I want to extend his car warranty or sell him solar panels or something. I said, look, your case just got transferred to me, and I'm interested to hear how we can help you be successful. He said, I don't need your help. And he slammed the door in my face. And have any of y'all ever got a door slammed in your face before, either personally or professionally? It's not a great experience. It's not a great feeling. But because, like I said, high energy, optimistic, I knocked on the door again. And he opened the door again, and he's like, what? I said, look, you on your goal plan that you created, it says that you want to go to that trade school nearby. I'm interested to hear how we can make that happen. He said, yeah, I'm going to go to that trade school, but I don't need you for it. And he closed the door in my face again. So I see a lot of different people from a lot of different places. In Florida, I don't know how y'all get down, but in Florida, we have a 2-door slam quota. That means if you get a door slammed twice in your face, you should probably leave. You should probably not knock again. So I did leave, but instead of going home, I went to the trade school that was on his goal plan. And while I was there, I was looking for financial aid information, find out what type of trades they offer, you know, anything I can do to motivate them. And while I was there, I saw there was a gift shop. And at that gift shop, there was a shirt with the school's name on the front. Now, this is important. I was working at a nonprofit at the time, making a mean $29,000 a year, balling. So this is an important part of the story. The shirt was on sale. But because the shirt was on sale and the shirt had the school's name on the front, tell me in the comment section, you want to take a guess of what I did? Take a guess in the comment section. What do you think I did when I saw that shirt was on sale? Any guesses? Almost 200 people with us right now. Any guesses of what I might have done considering that shirt was on sale? Boom. Pamela knows. Jeff knows. Sherry knows. Hannah, Jenny, Jan, Kelly, everybody knows. Yeah, and you know how y'all know? Because I'm sure y'all would have did the same thing. I bought the shirt. And then after I bought the shirt, I went right back to the house. I knocked on the door. He barely opened it. And I wish I had a look on his, I wish I had a picture of his expression because he's looking at me like, what is wrong with this guy? I said, look, man, you told me you're going to go to school. I believe you're going to go to school. And as a matter of fact, you're going to wear this shirt on your very first day. He took the shirt from me, he looked at me, and then he went back in the house again, closed the door. Can you believe this? What type of world are we living in? But positive ending. He came back out about 30 seconds later, and he was wearing a shirt. And he had a smile on his face. That moment didn't change everything. That moment didn't mean now everything will work out. But what that moment did is set a foundation of somewhere we can now start from. It helped me establish some trust. It helped me establish a foundation of respect. And it helped me demonstrate, it gave me an opportunity to demonstrate compassion, which is one of the most impactful ways to develop a relationship with someone. It didn't mean everything, but it definitely meant something. And that's just one example of more examples I can count where I had the ability to motivate someone. And the thing is that I didn't change anyone. I don't think I've changed anyone in my entire career because the fact is you can't change people. I had to learn this very early on. The person who has to change is the person who ultimately has to carry out the change that's going to be had, right? But what I can do and what I have seen done time and time again is can you inspire someone to consider a new perspective? Everyone you meet, their perspective has been shaped for a very long time. And when you interact with them, can you inspire them to consider taking a step forward? And my background here is a group home worker. That's probably one of the hardest jobs I ever had. That was girls on one side, boys on the other, co-ed group home. You learn a lot about motivation there. I was a director of a YMCA, a case manager for a juvenile justice program, a program manager for young adult program, an area manager for a dislocated workers program, a transition director where we served 145 of the most at-risk young people every single day, and now founder of Speak for MC, Speak for Motivating Change. And I guess I need to add at the very bottom of that now, Florida State Rep for SETA. You know, I got a whole resume happening here. So we'll add that next time. Just so you know, here's a little background of Speak for MC. Everything I do is designed to inspire short and long-term change. You can't get the long-term change unless you start with the short. And then everything is about disrupting the status quo. You cannot get to change unless you get through the status quo first. And everything I do is inspired to do that, whether it's training, consultation, curriculum development, speaking, all of that good stuff. All right, so here's what I want to do with y'all. Every time I do a webinar, every time I do a workshop, every time I do a training, I don't want to do it just to get up here and hear my own voice and say, oh, hopefully you contact me later for my services. I'm not interested in that. What I'm interested in is that you have a real takeaway that you can now apply with the individuals you help. One of the mottos I put on my website is I want to help people who help people. So what I did is I put together this webinar as a way that I think you can immediately apply to the work that you do and help people who help people. And everything I do is normally in this CAPE format. And this CAPE format I created with the help of my tiny superhero, my little girl, and that's her on that book. We were watching Doctor Strange, and she said, you know, why does Doctor Strange have a cape? And I said, well, it's, you know, some heroes have capes. He's a hero. He has a cape. And she was like, well, Daddy, where's yours? And I was like, pick my heart off the floor. But after I did that, I was like, wait a minute. Let me actually think about this. What does it mean to be a hero in the workplace? What does it mean to wear your cape? And what I realized is the answer is not just one thing. The answer is situational. It's about meeting someone where they are. It's about meeting the need for that person. So what I do now when I do workshops is I change the C, the A, the P, and the E dependent on my audience. So what I would like us to do is see if we can guess what you think the C, the A, and the P, E, and the E stand for. And let me jump in my comments real quick. Hannah, I read your book and it's really good. Oh, thank you, Hannah. I appreciate you. If you haven't went on Amazon yet, to say that, go ahead and do that. Help the algorithm up here. And then Marlena, keep your goatee. All right, is that for me, Marlena? I didn't know I lost it. It's just short, but I appreciate you, Marlena. And then Cleopatra, I love it, and I bet your little girl does too. And then Jessica, 100%. You can't always see our capes. Absolutely, Jessica. Oh, you can almost never see the capes, right? And in my opinion, if you are already in a profession that helps people, if you are already determined to help others, you're already a hero. So I'm not saying you have to have your cape to be a hero. I'm saying let me put a cape plan together that could help you help others on even more. Because the fact is you chose a profession that not a lot of people choose. You choose a profession where you almost always have to prioritize someone else's needs above your own, and because of that, y'all are already heroes. So let's do this. Let's go into our cape and let's see if we can guess what it stands for. And by the way, I just gave the answer away already. So if you're watching, you did not see that. Let me ask you a question, and tell me in the comments. This is always an interesting question. Keep in mind we're live. If you're speeding down the road, and you can be honest if y'all speed, and you see a cop parked in that little spot, sometimes they're like in the bushes or like where the trees are, what do you immediately do when you see that cop parked in that spot? What do you immediately do? Tell me in the comments. What do you do as soon as you see that police officer? And I know I got 150 people here that might not want to put a comment in the all right, we got some honesty. We got hit brakes. Gwendolyn's not playing around. Look, Tara immediately slams on the brakes. All right, that might bring a little attention. Tia, we got Hannah who's slowing down. Marvin slowing down. Yeah, you immediately break with 3 exclamation points, Abby. All right, I feel like Abby got a speeding ticket recently. So let's say you do all of those things, and then 15 minutes passes and nobody pulls you over. And that's a great feeling, right? You don't even get pulled over. What do you normally do after like 15 minutes has passed and no one has pulled you over? What do you normally do then? You were speeding, you saw the cop, you slowed down, 20 minutes passes, no one ever pulled you over. What do? Look, we got some honesty here. Dr. Sharonda, speed back up. LOL. What is this one? Speed up and pull in front of someone else. Xavier's out here putting your business out here for everybody. I hope if there's any law enforcement watching, just know that when you registered for this event, you signed a confidentiality waiver. So you cannot hold what Xavier is saying against him. So I'm told that Xavier caught himself. He said allegedly. Yes. Usually what you do is you speed back up. And the reason for that is because we are constantly, and this is what the C stands for CAPE, and this is really the foundation of everything, is we are constantly trying to make a decision between change and compliance. Is our behavior truly changing, or is our behavior just complying because of an external force? And when you're working with the individuals you serve, you are constantly having to make this decision as well. Am I going to take an approach today that'll inspire change, or am I going to take an approach today that requires compliance? And here is the dilemma with these two. Sometimes you need both. Sometimes you'll lean in into one more than the other. But the point is are you being intentional and honest with yourself of which approach you're using? Because compliance is almost always short term. Think about you with the cop car. You're speeding, you see the cop, your behavior changes. At least on the surface, it looks like it does. But as soon as that potential consequence is no longer viewed as consequential, you go back to behaving how you actually think, feel, and believe. So all compliance is I'm going to temporarily modify my behavior because something might happen that I don't like, or there might be a consequence that I don't want. Also, compliance can happen. It can be very much incentive-based. Do what I want you to do, and I will give you this thing. Maybe I'll give you money. Maybe I'll give you a gas card. Maybe, I'll pay you to work at this employer. Whatever it is, I'll give you this thing if you follow this directive. Again, that's only short term, because as soon as I achieve that thing I was chasing, now you're going to have to give me something else to keep chasing. And that next thing you give me better be better than the last thing. But in either situation, compliance is almost always a short-term plan, whereas change is much more sustainable, because change requires the other person to be bought in and have ownership over it. So I say all that to say is, in your program, sometimes you might start with compliance. You have to do this thing I'm telling you to do. But the challenge then is, after you do that, do I take an approach that more aligns with change, or do I keep with that compliance until they finish what I need them to finish? If the expectation is primarily compliance, just know as soon as that thing that's keeping them compliant is gone, it's more likely they're going to revert to how they actually think, feel, and believe, just like you when you went back to speeding when you no longer viewed that consequence. So again, you're going to take approaches that sometimes align with compliance. You're going to take approaches that sometimes align with change. My only challenge to people is that you're being intentional when you do. So in other words, you're being honest with yourself and saying, okay, what do I want out of this situation? If the answer to that is I want buy-in, I want them to embrace change, new goals, and in a year from now, I want them still to be on the right track, then you have to take approaches that align with change. Maybe your answer is, look, it's 4:45 on a Friday. I got to get this report in. I don't have time for this nonsense. You need to do what I'm telling you to do. Maybe that's your approach and you're being honest, but then you're also saying, I know that's only going to ask for compliance. And that means I'm going to have to circle back again to take a new approach later, because that's not sustainable. So every day we're asking ourselves, is it change or is it compliance? So let's talk about the next A. Anybody want to take a guess what the A stands for in CAPE, since I got a hippo on the screen? Anybody want to take a guess? What is the hint of a hippo on the screen for what the A stands for? Get some guesses in the comment. What is an A word that I might be getting at. And see if you can guess this while I'm telling you this story. There was this one gentleman called Dr. Rosilli. He would go to various villages across the world, and he would help them plant gardens. He would help with food shortages. So he went to this one village, and the village was on this perfect riverbank. And he didn't understand, why aren't the villagers just building a garden or starting a garden right on this riverbank? This is the perfect spot. They can have food. And he was like, what are they lazy? Are they unmotivated? He even tried to pay them to help them build their own garden so they would have food. And they still wouldn't do it. So he's like, what is up with these people? Like, they won't solve their own problems. Have we ever had that mentality when we're working with participants or customers? Why won't they solve their own problems, right? Why won't they just do it? So what Dr. Roselli did is he took it upon himself and he said, you know what? I'm gonna hire other people. I'm gonna build this garden. So he creates this garden. They have all this food for the village. Everything is going good. And then one morning he wakes up and everything is gone. And he's freaking out. He's like, what happened to the vegetables? What happened to the fruit? So he went to one of the villagers and he's like, where did all the fruit, where did all the vegetables go? What happened? And you know what the villagers said? They said it was the hippos. And Dr. Roselli said, what do you mean it was the hippos? What are you talking about, the hippos? And then the villager said, well, every time we start a garden or we plant fruit and we plant vegetables and things are going well, eventually, every single time the hippos come out of the river and they eat everything. And Dr. Roselli is like, what in the world are you talking about? Like, why didn't y'all tell me this before we put all the work in? And anyone want to take a guess on what the villager said to that? What do you think the villager said? When Dr. Roselli is like, why didn't you tell me this? Why didn't you tell me this before we did all of this? This information could have been helpful. What do you think the villager said to that? Look, Gwendolyn, you hit the nail on the head. You did not ask. You did not ask, which brings us to our very first, what brings us to the A, and that is ask questions. What happened here with Dr. Roselli is what happens to a lot of us is we feel so sure about the direction we're going. And by the way, the more experience and the more expertise you have about a topic, the harder it becomes to spot your blind spots. Just like Dr. Roselli. He is someone who genuinely wants to help. He's someone who's very knowledgeable. He's someone who does this all the time. And because of that, he had a blind spot to asking the most important questions. So everything, when it comes to inspired change, starts with, are we asking the right questions? And one of the best types of questions you can ask are open-ended questions. While I'm talking about open-ended questions, go ahead in the comments for me and tell me some examples of open-ended questions that you ask to participants, to your clients, to your customers. What are some good open-ended questions you might ask? And I know at the beginning when you're doing like intakes and stuff like that, they have a lot of closed-ended questions to try to get to the point, but there are some creative ways that we can ask open-ended questions to more empower that person. So what are some open-ended questions that you might ask to a participant? And while you're thinking about that, what is the purpose of an open-ended question? Think of it like a car. Whoever's driving the car gets to dictate the destination. And if you're trying to inspire change, the person who needs to dictate the destination is the person who ultimately has the final say of it. This is why sometimes you can do everything right, but then still not get the outcome you wanted when it comes to people. Because in the end, the person whose change it is ultimately responsible for carrying it out. So when you're asking open-ended questions, you are saying, I am giving you the wheel of the car. Now, I might be in the passenger seat like, hey, I noticed we're going kind of fast. Or, hey, there's some speed bumps coming up. You know, what are your thoughts on that? But they have to have their hands on the wheel. If you're asking closed-ended questions, do you want a job? Do you want to trade? Are you willing to attend services 5 days out the week? what you're doing when you're asking questions like that is you have your hands on the wheel while they're sitting in the passenger seat. And yes, that might be good for compliance, but if the goal is long-term change, that when you're no longer in the car, they're still driving, then we have to empower them to have ownership over it. And one of the best ways you can do that is by asking open-ended questions. And I got a bunch of good examples here in the chat. Let's look at some of these. What led you to seek assistance through the WIAO program? Dara, I don't know if it's Dara or Dara, but that is a brilliant question. And this is a question that if you don't listen to anything else I say, one of the most important questions you could ask to people when they're new to your services is what led you here, what brought you here, what motivated you to come here today. These are incredibly important questions, not only for them, but for you, because the answer helps you understand, okay, what is the need here and what tool makes the most sense. But if you're just saying, do you want assistance versus what led you to seeking assistance, these are two very different answers, where the one that starts with what is going to help you learn a lot more about the situation. What are the benefits of this? What can we help you solve today? Here's a question prompt. Share your last 2 professional experiences. What kind of position are you pursuing for employment? I'm telling you, we got heroes in the chat. This is what I'm talking about. Look at this. Over 150, almost 200 people in here. And y'all are just rock stars. What are some of your passions in working with people? Ask them about their passions. And by the way, your passions, your core values, the things that are real to you, those are the things that are more sustainable than I just want to get a check. I just want to get money. So one of the very first things we need to challenge ourselves to do is modify how we ask questions. How we ask questions 100% impacts the person's response to them. It just does. I can ask questions to you that'll spark resistance, and I could also ask questions to you that'll encourage openness and dialogue. And one of the best ways to do that are by asking open-ended questions. So we got, hey, am I trying to inspire change? Am I trying to inspire compliance? If you're trying to inspire change, then the next part of your cape is, okay, what type of questions am I asking? And do these questions inspire it? And then the next thing with the P is it a partnership? Let me ask a question for the chat. Who is the expert in the change process? Who is the expert in the change process? Tell me in the chat, who is the person with all the information, the expert in that area? Who is the expert when it comes to change? Let me know what you think about that. Who is the expert? Siobhan, right out the gate. The customer. Yes. Kathy, the participant. Yes. The client. Yes. Thank you. And why is that? It's because the person who's responsible for the change has the most important data that is required for it to change. And what is that? That is their brain. I mean, maybe Elon Musk is working on this, as I understand. But as of right now, you are the only person that has direct access to your brain, which means you have direct access to your thoughts, your experiences, your feelings, your perspectives, your fear, your trauma, your motivations, your successes, your failures. I can go on and on. You have direct access to the information that is going to be required for this change to be sustainable. So if I come at you like I'm the expert, when you have all the data that's required for this thing to work, that makes no sense logically, right? In no other situation would you go at the person who has the most data on a particular topic and say you're the expert without access to that data. And it's the same thing when working with individuals as it relates to change. So the P in CAPE here, and this is also the P in motivational interviewing, is partnership. We are working for and with the participant. It is an active collaboration between two people. We have each other's back. We are seeking to understand their perspective. We are with them side by side. As soon as we get into this expert role of saying, I know what you need to be doing, we start in that other side of the car where now we have the wheel. And if you're unsure about what I'm saying, allow me to share this example. The fitness industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And every year around January, people are super motivated to get fit and get healthy. And a lot of them get personal trainers. And in that situation, when you talk about someone who's trying to get healthy and a personal trainer, when it comes to dietary methods, meal planning, how to exercise, that personal trainer is the expert in those topics. So they're the expert. But if they're the expert, then why in the world do people stop going to the gym? Why do people give up on their exercise goals? Why do people cancel their agreement with these personal trainers if they're the expert? It's because deep down, just having the information on how to do something is not enough. You got to have that internal drive, and that drive has to be connected to something that's very real and personal to you for it to be sustainable. And it's the same thing when you're engaging others in their goals and their behaviors and some of the outcomes you're working with your program. So it's not, I'm the expert on you. You might be the expert in getting someone a job in your particular county. I have no doubt about that. But they're the expert on what is going to be required to wake up every morning and make it happen. So that's why partnership is so important if your goal is change. So we got change versus compliance. We got asking questions. We got partnership. And then we have the foundation of all change. This has been proven in study after study. You cannot have change if you do not have this word as part of your foundation. The E word is everything. And if you've ever attended any of my workshops or any of my trainings, you know how passionate I am about this particular word and how powerful it is. Anybody know what that E word stands for already? It's more than 1,000 controlled trials have used this E word and have demonstrated that it has a positive impact on change and behavior and new attitudes. And yes, thank you, Nina. It is empathy. If your goal is change, it has to be rooted. It has to be rooted in empathy. And the reason for that is studies have found that when someone interacts with a non-judgmental, empathetic listener, it reduces defensiveness and it reduces anxiety. And if my defensiveness is down, if my anxiety is down, I'm going to be more open-minded. And if I am more open-minded, that means I'm going to be more prone to hearing your feedback, hearing your advice, and working with you. But if I am tense, if I feel disrespected, if this situation and how you're communicating with me causes me anxiety, I'm going to be closed-minded. And you are not changing a closed mind. You are not inspiring new ideas in a closed mind. So I remember when I used to work in juvenile justice, did some work in corrections. Sometimes people will come to me and they'd be like, hey, you got to keep it real. You got to be tough. You got to be hard. You can't be soft. You got to tell them how it is. And I would try to explain to them, it's not about being soft. It's not about being fake. It's about creating an interaction that encourages the other person to engage, be open-minded, and maybe even take the advice I'm giving. And in order for that to happen, it has to be rooted in empathy. It has to be rooted in non-judgmental interactions. So we have went fast. One quick tip on empathy real quick is one of the best ways to be empathetic is to be an active listener. And I know this active listening word gets thrown around all the time. Just be an active listener, nod your head, show them you're listening, all that good stuff. Here's the dirty little secret about active listening, if I could share it with you. This is just between you and me and about 150 people watching. No matter how good your active listening skills are, no matter how many active listening workshops you attend, you cannot be an active listener if you do not genuinely care about the other person's perspective. Because if you don't, your mind will eventually drift off to something else you care more about, and you will no longer be able to active listen. So yes, body language matters. Yes, open-ended questions and reflections matter. But one of the most important parts of being a strong, active listener is having a genuine curiosity about that person's worldview and taking it in a non-judgmental way. So in other words, do you care? And if you don't believe me, think about social media. And when you're scrolling on your phone, you're scrolling past a lot of stuff. And then eventually you stop on something. And the reason you stop on that thing is because that thing caught your attention and you're interested in it. It's the same thing when interacting with people. So find out what you're interested about with this person's perspective. Find out what you're curious about and lean into that. And that's going to help you be a stronger, active listener. Boy, we are dropping gems here on this webinar. There's a rumor that I like to hear my own voice for hours at a time. And I've been trying to squash that rumor. And I think today I have added value to that rumor. So I apologize for talking this long. But let's look one more time at our Kate. The C, change your compliance. Sometimes you need both. All I ask and all I challenge you to do is be intentional about which one you're trying to cause, which one you're trying to encourage. If it's change, it's their hands on the wheel. If it's compliance, you go ahead and take the wheel. The second part of that is ask good questions, ask open-ended questions, and most importantly, ask questions that you're interested in hearing the answer. After that, it's understanding who is ultimately responsible for that change, ultimately who is the expert in that change, and that means us being a partner. And if we truly are a partner, then we're going to embrace empathy. We're going to listen to them. We're going to hear them. We're going to prioritize their worldview in a non-judgmental way. And if we do these things, I am not going to lie to you and say, do these 4 things and you'll always get the outcomes you want. If someone does a workshop like that, that's just not true. But what I will say is if you do these 4 things, it'll increase the probability that you will have a positive impact on change behavior. It will not guarantee it, but it'll increase the probability that you will. So we have reached the end, amazing people. Look, this is the first ever Florida State Rep webinar ever. This is one of the first ever live streams we have ever had through SETA. I don't know if it's first ever or if this might just be the first and only one, but one of many. But we have reached the end, and we have maintained a constant attendance of over 150 viewers today, which is truly incredible. Give yourselves a round of applause for doing that. I really appreciate you. So before we do the drawing to find out who's going to get a comped registration, before we find out who's going to get some signed books, Julia, can you put in the comment section for us how they can find SETA on social media and how they can find SETA online so that they, if they're not members, can think about being a member? And you know what? If we can get, let me say this, Julie. If we can get, we got 150 people on here. If we get 50 new members by the end of this month, Julia, then I'm going to host another webinar in August for all of our members. I'll do another one. I know Florida State reps are only supposed to do maybe one every other month or one a quarter. I will do another one in August if we can get 50 members by the end of this month. So Julia went ahead and put the info in there. And then what I also want to do is let me put my social media tag in here as well so you can follow me because I like to hear from y'all. Don't be strangers. I'm all over. There's my stuff as well. So if we can get 50 new members, then I'm going to host another one in August. Why not? This was fun. So here, I'll put SETA.org in there as well. 50 new, I'll host another one in August. Okay, let's get down to the part. Let's get down to the piece of this that I know you're really excited about. So let's make this happen here. All right, let me share my screen. Akil, are you still with us? Are you still on camera? I don't know if Akil is still with us or not. All good. I was gonna let Akil be a part of this wheel with me. We might have stepped away. All right, let's get this. Let's add some audio. Got it. All right. All right. Can y'all let me know in the comments? Can you see my screen? Can you see the wheel? Look at all these comments. I appreciate y'all. Awesome. Okay. Let's go ahead and spin this wheel. It's already 103. Appreciate you, Akil. Let's do this thing. All right. So the very first one, you have to be here to get the prize. So what I'll do is that once we get the name, I'll go ahead and give like 10 seconds. If you don't claim it, then we're going to keep it moving. Let's do 5 autograph books. Let's make the first one happen. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. Xavier, yes, I need it. All right. Let's see what we got here. Oh, is it threats or threats? Are you with us? Are you with us? Are you with us? Let me get my while we're doing this, let me get my list up here so I do not forget about you. Hold on 1 second for me. Dun, 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 dun. Julia, you know what'd be easier, Julia? Can you write down for me who the winners are so I'm not having to do this at the same time? Is that possible? Can you do that for me? Oh, Siobhan, you're here. Siobhan, get a free autograph book. Siobhan, what I want you to do is email me, Curtis at Speak for MC, and tell me who you want me to personalize the book to, who you want me to write it to, and then send me the address you want it sent to, okay? Congratulations, Siobhan. Awesome. Love it. Love it. If you can write that down for me. All right, next one. Let's keep it moving. Y'all gonna have me going to UPS. This is ridiculous. All right, shout out to UPS. Next up, Virgil. And actually, I'm gonna add you to the screen so you can celebrate with me, Akil. You're on the camera right now, just to let you know. You're gonna celebrate with me, sir. All right. Virgil, are you here? Virgil. Virgil is here. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, Virgil? You have a book. Email me at curtis@speakformc.com. Look at Virgil with the exclamation point. There he is. Oh, that's Denise. What's up, Denise? Denise, Virgil, I appreciate it. Email me at curtis@speakformc.com. Tell me who you want the book personalized to, and we're going to make it happen. All right, let's keep it moving. Can y'all see the Akil, can you see the wheel on your screen?
I can see it. I can see it.
All right, cool. Let's go to the next one. It's number 3. Patterson. Hopefully I don't have more than one Patterson in the building. Do we got a Patterson in the building? Where you at, Patterson? Going once? Going twice? Oh, that's all right, Patterson.
Gotta be here to win. Gotta be here to win.
You're with us in spirit. All right, let's get another one. Third book. Let's go. Let's go. Boy, this coffee's getting at me now, Akil. Let's go. Atkinson. Are you in the building with us? Is Atkinson with us right now? Going once?
Somebody's going to get this third book.
Oh, Alicia. It is you. You are Alicia Patterson. So that means we got Alicia Patterson.
Oh, okay.
It's here. So, Julia, let's get her a book. And then Atkinson, Akil.
Atkinson.
Akil, we got 2 books right there. So we got our 3rd and 4th book. So again, we got Akil Atkinson and Alicia Patterson. Get the books. Number 3 and 4. Email me, Curtis@speakformc.com, who you want the book personalized to, and we will make it happen. All right, here's our last book before we get to the comp registration. Here's our last book before we get to the comp registration. Dun, 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 dun. Whitner. Is Whitner in the building? Akil, spoiler alert about me. If you ever want to find someone who pronounces names incorrectly more consistently, it's me. Like if there was the Olympics for that, every year they'd send their best to beat me, but I would win every time.
I hear you.
Denise, I'll go ahead and put my email in the chat right now for you. It's Curtis@speakformc.com. Is Whitner in the building? Yes, Keisha. Keisha got a book. Let's go, Keisha. Email me. Tell me who you wanted to personalize to. If it's you, if it's your neighbor, if it's a friend, I got you. All right, so here we go. Here's the big one. This is for a comped registration valued at almost $700 to either the Mississippi Conference or the Florida Conference. Now, Florida's my hometown. I would love to see y'all at that one, but I understand Kenny made a really good pitch for Mississippi, so I'm not gonna be mad at you do that. So we're gonna
either way, it's a huge prize. Either
way, it is a huge prize. Are we ready to see who it is? Let's see what we got. Dun, 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 dun. Harris Davis, are you with us? Are you with us, Harris Davis? Ooh, I hope they are. Oh no, they're gonna feel a certain way.
Come
That's
on.
all right.
Countdown.
Go in twice. Go in 3 times. I bet you somebody who knows Harris Davis is like blowing up the phone right now. You better log on. But they are not there. Okay.
Keisha Davis said, big bucks, no whammies.
All right, we get to spin it one more time. Let me just give one more just in case. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. All right. Get another chance. Barnett. Is Barnett in the building? Is Barnett around? Oh boy. I know we don't got 2 strong. I know there's a lot of people hoping that Barnett is not here. But I want to give Barnett a chance.
Come on, Barnett. Where are you? Does anybody know Barnett? Oh,
wait a minute.
There it is. There it is.
Michelle Barnett.
She's there.
Are you the Barnett, Michelle? Congratulations. Look at Lakeisha was trying to get another spin. We almost did, Lakeisha. But Miss Michelle Barnett is the winner. Give Michelle Barnett some love. How you feeling, Michelle? You just got a comped registration to either the Mississippi or the Florida Conference. Tell us, how are you feeling? Here's this is like this expressing getting Academy Award. You have to give a speech, Miss Barnett. What is your speech? And your speech is yes! Exclamation point. A woman, a few words. I like it.
I love it. I
like it. Well, we're gonna have to hear more about this at the conference. Julia, if you could put your email in the comments too, if our winners want to email me and include you, or if they connect with you first. But we have reached the end, Akil. We did it. First ever live stream across 6 different platforms. At one point, almost reaching 200 viewers. I don't know what else to say. I think it's a big deal.
I love it. Huge, man. Huge. And what an immediate impact you are making, being president, being part of the board. So thank you for doing this. This is something that we should be doing regularly, and we can put a schedule together to make sure that happens. But I thank you for it. I know the organization thanks you for it. I know the membership thanks you for it. And man, let's keep this thing going. This is fantastic.
I love that. I appreciate it, Akil. And yeah, I think a lot more big things are on the horizon. We got some movers and shakers that don't just sit around. So we're going to do some big things for sure. And as a reminder, if we get 50 new members this month after this workshop, I'm going to host another one in August for our members, and we're going to keep making it happen. All right, people, we did it. You can rewatch this later if you want. It's going to be on all our platforms that we streamed. It also goes directly to StreamYard, where you can watch it on demand. You know what I mean? Just enjoy. That's all.
And listen, if you saw Julia's text here, she said, not sure if you saw my message, but we have several new members and several renewals just from this webinar already. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it going.
This is what I'm talking about. I don't know what to say after that. I feel like that's a good spot to end. I appreciate y'all. Hey, y'all are already heroes because you work in a field that's designed to help people. You prioritize other people a lot of the time over yourself. So you're already that. I hope by adding a cape to that, it'll help you continue to impact the people that I know you want to impact. So that's it. We're done. It's a wrap. I'm going to go get some coffee and some lunch. Bye, everybody.
All right, bro. Thank you.